Now the first time you're ready to do these exercises, I highly recommend that you actually play through them and you watch them the first time. So just so you get an idea before you get stuck into them. Alright? Okay. Alright, we're going to get into the posture exercises now. So we're going to start with a warm-up exercise. So get you to stand with your feet hip width apart, toes straight forward, heels straight back, standing up nice and tall. Alright? Then soften your knees slightly, bring your arms in front, get you to bend your knees as you bring your hands down, and then stretching up tall, crossing your hands at the top, bringing them down again, crossing at the bottom, bringing them back up, bringing them down. Now as you're doing that, I'm just going to move sideways so you can see what's happening with my body side on. Alright, now I'm bending at my knees, bending through my hips, and keeping the length up the back of my neck. So I'm not tucking my chin in, I'm not looking up like this, I'm not rounding through my back. Again, I'll just move so I'm facing you again. Feet hip width apart. Now the next part of this exercise is just to bring your arms up to shoulder height. So you're just bringing them to here and then down again. Shoulder height and down again, like big wings. Keeping my knees bent again, I'll just move side on. Feet hip width apart still. Knees coming down over your toes. Keeping the length between your sit bones and your crown. Now to stop, I'm going to pause with my hands at the bottom. I'm going to curl my pelvis under, so you can see I'm tucking my tailbone under and rolling back up to standing, nice and tall through the crown. Okay, so next we're going to do an upper body stretch. So again, standing with your feet hip width apart, toes straight forward, heels straight back, knees slightly soft. Okay, so I just don't want them rammed back tight, I just want them softened off a little bit, so slightly bent. Okay, and curl your pelvis slightly. So I'll do that side on. So just curling your pelvis slightly to flatten off the small of your back. Front on again. Alright, standing nice and tall, knees soft, pelvis curled. Bring one hand up for support at the top of your leg, so not up on your waist, right? Because then you bring your shoulder up too high, just at the top of your leg. Bring the other arm up, and I want you to stretch up as far as you can. See that length I get through my torso when I do that? Stretch up and then soften over to the side so you support it on that supporting arm. And then lift the shoulder up. So I'm lifting my right shoulder up. If you're working a mirror to me, you'll be lifting your left shoulder up. And you're lifting it up and then lifting it up. So it's a little pulse. You're lifting your shoulder up away from your hip. Lifting it up. Okay. Now just check that your shoulder is relaxed down. Ideally your elbow and your arm are in line with your body, so they're not tucked back, not forward. Alright, you're lifting up. Stretching up. Also check that your head isn't like this. Your head's not like that. I want a nice straight line, nice curve through your spine. You're lifting up. And just breathing. And just relaxing down a little further on that side. Also watch that your hips aren't going out to the side like that. Alright. Now the next part of the exercise, I'm going to start pulsing my hand forward. Now I'm going to bend at my hips. Then I'm reaching forward on the diagonal. Okay. I'm going to turn side on so you can see what I'm doing side on. As I did that, actually I'll come out of position, coming back up again, coming over. As I go forward, I also need to take my behind back to keep myself balanced. So I'm taking my weight back as I reach forward on the diagonal. Right, so I'm stretching forward and I'm curling my pelvis slightly on the right hand side because I'm using my right arm, so it'll be left hand side if you're using your left arm. So I can feel that stretch through my lower back, down on the right hand side in my case. Alright, so it's a lower back stretch now. It's great for getting into the sacroiliac joint that a lot of people have problems with. If you have pain shooting down your leg, it could be because of the sacroiliac joint. Now to come out of position, I'm going to bend my knees, bring my hand down curtsy style, curl my pelvis under and come back up standing. Alright, and then you want to continue and do the other side. Alright, I won't repeat that, so just go back to the beginning if you need to and play that little stretch again. Okay, so next we're going to do a neck exercise, so a neck realigning exercise. So standing nice and tall, or you can do this sitting, but I normally do it standing. Okay, nice and tall, lengthen up through your crown. Right. Then what we're going to do is imagine we've got a shelf in front of our chin. We're going to slide our chins forward on that shelf and then slide them back in again, taking them back as far as we can. We're going to create lots of beautiful double chins underneath them. Alright, I'll do that side on so you get a better idea of what I'm doing. I call it the ET look, for those of you old enough to remember ET. Alright, we're going to slide our chins forward on that shelf and then slide them back in again, taking them back as far as you can, tucking your chin in to increase that stretch. And again, sliding your chin forward as far as you can. And then sliding it back in again, taking it back as far as you can, tucking your chin in, creating all these lovely double chins. And then release that off. Okay, next we're going to work on the pec muscles in the chest, so the ones up here. So, standing nice and tall again, knees soft, pelvis curled. Now to bring your arms up and hold on to your forearms. Just watch that your wrists aren't all bent. I want them nice and straight. Okay, so don't want all angles in them. So nice and straight, holding on to your forearms. So if I bring my arms down, you can see the way they're holding on. Bring your arms up, so your arms are at shoulder height. Hold on firmly, and then draw the flesh down your arms and then push it back up. Draw the flesh down and then push it back up. So you're not moving against your skin or the fabric if you're wearing sleeves like I am. You're drawing the skin down and then pushing it back up. Now what we're actually doing with our hands is secondary to what we're achieving. You'll find that as you push the skin back up, you're working into your pec muscles. You'll feel them being used. Drawing it down and pushing them up. Drawing it down, pushing them up. Just make sure that your shoulders are relaxed down. Also, keep lengthening your elbows out from your shoulder sockets so you're keeping that upper arm nice and long. Drawing it down and pushing it up. The reason we're doing this is if you have problems with your shoulders rounding forward, often what happens is that the muscles through here shorten. Now, when that happens, it makes it really hard to bring your shoulders back again. So what we're doing is we're warming up those muscles. Okay, I'll get you to bring your arms down, and then we're going to do some stretches for them. So we've warmed up the muscles. We're just going to do a little forward shoulder roll. Right? Now we're not going to try and do big shoulder rolls. We're not rolling them forward because that's what we're trying to avoid. But we just want to do little ones, just so we're opening up space in that joint and keeping it supple. And then we're going to do large rolls back. So you're taking the shoulder back as far as you can. One and then the other. Right, so it's giving us that stretch through the pec muscle. Now keep standing nice and tall while you're doing that. One and then the other. Taking it back as far as you can. Keep standing up tall. Okay, and that's our pec muscles. Thank you. So next we're going to do a spine lengthening exercise. So I'll get you to come down to the floor. Take your time. If you need to, you can use a chair to support yourself, particularly if you have back problems or knee problems. So use a chair. You can have it next to you as you work, and then you can use it for getting up again off the floor as well. Alright. Also, make sure the floor is nice and soft, so don't work on like a timber floor or something like that. I'm lucky I have carpet here and it's nicely padded, but if you have something like a yoga mat, you can use that, or just an extra mat, just to give you a bit of extra padding there. And if it's a cold day, keep a blanket handy to keep yourself warm. You want to stay warm while you're stretching. Right, so turning side on, I'm going to lay down. Now I want you to use your hands and your elbows to slowly lower yourself down to the floor. And breathe and relax. Right? The floor is your friend. It's nice and straight. You can't fall off it. Alright. Now if you struggle with getting your head comfortably on the floor, so if you're laying here and you're feeling like you're like this, alright, it means that you need, you're too rounded through your back, and it means that you need some padding under your head. So you can use a book or magazines or something which will lift your head up a little like this. I want you to be able to tuck your chin in to get the length up the back of your neck. So if you need to, start with something like 4 magazines and see how that feels. I want you to be comfortable, but your target will be to get rid of those so that you can lay comfortably on the floor and get that length through your spine. Alright, now I want you to breathe deeply, drawing the air all the way down into your abdominals. So when you're breathing in, you're not blowing up your chest. When you're breathing in, you're blowing up your tummy. And then breathing out. Breathing in, blowing up your tummy, and breathing out, relaxing down to the floor. Now I want you to bring your hands up so your fingertips are stretching for the ceiling. I want you to curl your pelvis so the small of your back is pressed into the floor. Tuck your chin in, get as much length as you can through your spine. Your feet are still comfortably on the floor, about hip width apart. And as you breathe in, I want you to stretch your fingertips up to the ceiling. So you're breathing in and out. And as you're breathing out, you're tucking your chin back in again to get the length back through your spine. Breathing in, stretching up as far as you can so you can feel that stretch between your shoulder blades. And breathing out, tucking your chin in, drawing your shoulders back as far as you can. Breathing in, stretching up. You're not going to lift your head off the floor, your head stays on the floor. And breathing out, tucking your chin in, keeping your pelvis curled. Breathing in, stretching up. Breathing out, tucking your chin in, lengthening through your spine. Right. Then next I want you to mesh your fingers together. Slowly take your hands to the floor above your head with your elbows out wide. Now if you can't take your hands all the way down to the floor, I'll get you to work with them up a little bit higher. And if you need to do that and you're uncomfortable, use a cushion behind you to support your hands. Alright, but if you can, bring your hands right down to the floor, your arms right down to the floor. And then rotate your hands over and stretch your hands up along the floor away from your crown. So keep breathing, keep the length up the back of your neck, keep your pelvis curled. And relax in that position. And then slowly rotate your hands over, release your fingertips and bring your arms back down by your side. Alright. Now when you get to come up off the floor, and it doesn't have to be now, depending on the next exercise you're doing, but when you do come up off the floor, roll onto your side and push yourself up. Just take your time.